Daniel here for Tabletop for One and the 5 after 5 solo preview of Forges of Ravenshire. Now, Forges of Ravenshire is designed by Sam Stockton and published by BA Games. It is a game coming to Kickstarter April 18th. Forges of Ravenshire is a dice placement, tableau building game where you are trying to be the best smith in the land and gain the Grandmaster title for the guilds. Now bear in mind that my thoughts and impressions about the game are based off of a prototype copy that I had played and since passed on to other reviewers. And so after 5 plays, I have 5 things to consider when backing this game. First, let's talk about the gameplay. Now, Forges of Ravenshire has a dice placement that is similar to the worker placement you're going to find in Raiders of the North Sea. In Forges, you're going to place a die onto a spot on the main board. It'll be an action space, and based on the value of the die, you'll get resources or do an action. And then you're going to pull a die from a different spot on the board, also doing the action or gaining resources there. And then you'll take that die and place it onto your main board, or your player board, and you're going to activate the guild that matches the color of the die. And that can result in a lot of extra resources because you can build up each one of the 3 guilds, allowing for this nice chain of combos and resource production that just trigger one after another and gaining all sorts of options and resources. You're also able to spend action tokens which allow you to gain contracts from the main board so that you can complete those later during the production phase. And so after you've placed and taken 3 dice for the round, you're going to go into the production phase. And the production phase is on the right side of your board. And from there, you're going to place those 3 dice that you had gained and use them for various production abilities. It could be producing some steel or charcoal or other abilities, even triggering your guild tiles again. And then you're able to complete contracts. And of course, you're completing contracts to gain fame and money. And of course, at the end of this game, whoever has the most money is the winner. And so for number 2, let's go ahead and talk about the rulebook. Now, the rulebook as it currently stands is very good. I actually often struggle with reading rulebooks, but this particular rulebook is done very well. The examples and the clear instructions make it very easy for me to take it in. In fact, I don't even remember referring to the rulebook after the first game. Now, there are some design and layout issues that I think they're going to iron out, and I would imagine the final production rulebook will look fantastic. And so for number 3, let's talk about the ease of solo play. You're going to set up the AI deck by putting together a deck of cards, adding some events based upon the difficulty level, giving the AI a set of goods cubes, setting its priorities for the contracts it would take, as well as priorities for the guild tiles it would take. Then you're going to give it 1 of each die, and it's ready to go. You're going to take the first turn of the game, and the AI will follow every turn after you. And the AI's turn is very simple. It's a matter of flipping over the top card. If it's an event, you'll do that event and flip over another card. But once you have an AI card in hand, you're going to do the top portion of the card, which tells you which die and what value it's going to place on the board. And then you're going to take a die from the board based on the bottom portion of the card and put it on the AI's player board, which will activate their own guild bonuses. Now, the AI never gains any resources. It only gains the good cubes, and it gains money. And when it reaches a certain amount of good cubes, which is 13 for the basic mode, it'll complete a contract based upon how much fame it has and what priority it's choosing its contracts. And then, of course, it'll gain all its bonuses from the contracts, such as fame and money and other things. Now, the AI's turn is very quick. It only takes about 10, 15, 20 seconds, and you're back to playing on your turn. It blocks some of the spaces on the board that you might want to go to. It might take a guild tile you want, and it might take a contract you want. Definitely simulates another player, but is very streamlined, very quick. It reminds me of other AI modes like from Circadian's First Light and other Garfield games, or from the Automa Factory. Super streamlined, easy to implement, fast, and back to your gameplay. And so for number 4, let's talk about the replayability. Oh man, there's so much replayability in this game. Between the difficulty levels of the AI, the variable setup on the main boards, the asymmetric powers that are offered, the different contracts, different titles for you to try to achieve, there's so many things that make each gameplay different. The AI deck is different every time, so you don't know how the AI is going to play. It's just, there's so much to do in this game. But that's not why you want to replay the game. It's not because of the variability, it's because the game is so much fun. Every time you place a die and take a die, you feel like chaining together a combination of rewarding actions that result in a sense of accomplishment, and you just don't want it to stop. You want to push that engine to the max, trying to chain together as many combos as possible, getting all these resources, completing as many contracts as possible, going for those legendary contracts, trying to push the envelope, beat out that AI for those points, and it's just so satisfying in the end. I get similar feelings of accomplishment from games like Revive and Dwellings of Eldervale. Would I like to see more content? Sure. Yeah, I'd like to see some additional guild tiles, or maybe some more titles, or maybe even some asymmetric powers for the AI itself, but the game doesn't need it. Everything that's currently in the game is plenty of content for what you're getting, and I couldn't be happier about it. And so for number 5, let's talk about the production quality. Now, it might seem kind of weird to talk about the production quality of a game that I played a prototype, but I have to tell you that prototype was top notch. There are dual layer player boards, nice thickness on the tiles, and the card stock is really good. The iconography and the tokens, everything looks great. I wouldn't mind seeing some deluxe components for the mystic items and maybe some metal coins for the money. But if what I saw in the prototype is what is going to be in the final production, I'd be super satisfied with what is produced. So if nothing changes at all, the final production will be fantastic. And so in the end, I'm not going to tell you to back this game, but I'm going to tell you that this is the kind of game that I would like to back. Forges of Ravenshire provides such a satisfying solo experience with a smooth and challenging AI, and it is the kind of game that I would like to have in my collection. And so this has been a 5 after 5 preview of Forges of Ravenshire. Please check out the links to the Kickstarter page and their publisher page in my description. Please also like and subscribe to this channel if you like the content you see here. And I thank you very much for watching Tabletop for One. Have a great night.